Hi, and welcome back to this AZ-900 Azure Fundamentals training. In the previous lessons, you learned what cloud computing is, the main deployment models, and the different service models, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. In this lesson, we will focus on a group of benefits that appear very often in the AZ-900 exam. High availability, scalability, reliability, and predictability. By the end of this video, you will be able to describe these cloud benefits in clear, exam-oriented language and recognize them in typical AZ-900 question scenarios. Here is what we will cover in this lesson. First, we will define what we mean by cloud benefits in the context of Azure and the AZ-900 exam. Second, we will describe high availability and scalability, and see how cloud providers like Azure implement them. Third, we will describe reliability and predictability, including performance and cost predictability. Finally, we will look at a few exam-style scenarios to help you quickly identify which benefit is being tested. Let's start with the big picture. When we talk about the benefits of using cloud services, we are talking about the value that cloud computing provides to organizations. In the AZ-900 exam, Microsoft highlights several key benefits, including high availability, scalability, reliability, predictability, security, governance, and manageability. In this lesson, we will focus on 4 of them: high availability, scalability, reliability, and predictability. Because they are fundamental to understanding how cloud solutions deliver stable, scalable, and cost-effective services. Let's start with high availability. High availability is the ability of a system or service to remain accessible and operational most of the time, even when there are failures in parts of the environment. In simple terms, high availability means the system stays up. It is usually measured using metrics like uptime percentage over a period of time, and is often guaranteed through service-level agreements or SLAs. To achieve high availability, cloud providers like Azure use strategies such as redundant hardware and multiple servers, multiple data centers and availability zones, automatic failover to healthy instances when a failure occurs. For example, if you deploy an application in Azure across multiple availability zones in the same region, Azure can route traffic away from a failed zone to healthy ones. From the user's perspective, the application continues to work, even though there was a failure somewhere in the underlying infrastructure. In business terms, high availability helps organizations reduce downtime, avoid lost revenue, and provide a better experience to users, even during unexpected failures. In AZ-900 questions, when you see phrases like ensure the application is always available, minimize downtime, or keep services running during hardware failures, you are usually dealing with the concept of high availability. Now let's talk about scalability. Scalability is the ability of a system to handle increased demand by adding more resources, and to reduce resources when demand goes down. In the cloud, scalability is one of the biggest advantages compared to traditional on-premises environments. Instead of buying extra servers, just in case, you can scale resources up and down as needed. There are 2 main forms of scalability you should know. Vertical scaling, or scale-up, which means adding more CPU, memory, or power to an existing resource, such as a virtual machine. Horizontal scaling, or scale-out, which means adding more instances of a resource, such as more virtual machines behind a load balancer. In Azure, many services support automatic scaling based on metrics like CPU usage, request count, or custom rules. For example, an application running on Azure App Service can automatically scale out to more instances when traffic increases, and then scale back in when traffic returns to normal. From a business perspective, scalability helps organizations maintain performance during peak times and avoid overpaying for unused capacity during quiet periods. In AZ-900 questions, when you see phrases like handle sudden increases in traffic, add resources during peak hours and remove them afterward, or support growth without redesigning the application, you are usually dealing with scalability. High availability and scalability often work together. High availability keeps services running, while scalability keeps them performing well as demand changes. Now let's move to reliability. Reliability is the ability of a system to recover from failures and continue operating correctly. While high availability focuses on keeping services accessible, reliability focuses on correct operation and recovery when something goes wrong. Cloud platforms like Azure achieve reliability by using redundant components, so there is no single point of failure. Automated backups and restore capabilities. Disaster recovery mechanisms, such as region pairs and georeplication. Health probes and automatic replacement of unhealthy instances. Imagine a database running in Azure that stores critical business data. If one underlying disk fails, redundancy ensures that another copy of the data is available. If an entire region experiences a major problem, a disaster recovery plan can fail over to another region. From an organization's point of view, reliability means that systems can quickly recover from failures, and that the risk of data loss and long outages is greatly reduced. In AZ-900 questions, reliability is often implied when the scenario talks about recovering from failures, maintaining operations after an incident, or protecting data and services from outages. Now let's discuss predictability. In the context of cloud computing and the AZ-900 exam, predictability has two main aspects: performance predictability and cost predictability. Performance predictability means being able to understand and plan the resources needed to deliver a consistent user experience. Cloud features such as auto-scaling, load balancing, and high availability contribute to performance predictability. They help ensure that the system behaves in a consistent way, even when demand changes. Cost predictability means being able to estimate and forecast how much you will spend on cloud services. In the cloud, you can monitor resource usage in real time, set budgets and alerts, and analyze trends over time. This allows organizations to forecast their cloud spending and avoid unexpected bills. For example, a company might use Azure Cost Management and Billing to track how much it spends on virtual machines and databases every month, and set alerts when spending approaches a defined budget. At the same time, auto-scaling rules help keep performance stable without over-provisioning resources. Together, performance predictability and cost predictability help organizations make confident decisions about how to scale their solutions, while staying within performance and budget expectations. In AZ-900 questions, predictability appears when scenarios mention forecasting or planning cloud spending, ensuring stable performance for users, or using tools to monitor and control costs. Let's now connect these four benefits in a simple story. Imagine an online retail application running in Azure. High availability ensures that the application remains accessible even if a server or an entire availability zone fails. Scalability allows the application to handle increased traffic during events like Black Friday by automatically adding more resources. Reliability ensures that, even when failures occur, the system can recover quickly and data remains safe, perhaps by using redundant storage and backup strategies. Predictability helps the company estimate how much it will spend on cloud resources during the sales event and understand how the application will perform under load. Together, these cloud benefits enable the business to serve customers reliably, handle growth and spikes in demand, and control costs in a more intelligent way. Now, let's link these ideas back to exam-style thinking. If a question emphasizes minimizing downtime and keeping services up during failures, you should think of high availability. If it emphasizes handling increased load and adding or removing resources based on demand, you should think of scalability. If it emphasizes recovering from failures, protecting data, or continuing operations after an incident, you should think of reliability. If it emphasizes forecasting cloud costs, planning capacity, or consistent performance and spend, you should think of predictability. Recognizing these keywords and patterns will help you answer many benefits of cloud questions in the AZ-900 exam. Let's recap what you learned in this lesson. You learned that cloud benefits describe the value cloud computing provides to organizations. You focused on four key benefits: high availability, which keeps services accessible and reduces downtime; Scalability, which allows resources to grow or shrink based on demand. Reliability, which ensures systems can recover from failures and continue operating. Predictability, which helps organizations forecast performance and costs with confidence. You also saw how these benefits work together in real scenarios and how to recognize them in exam-style questions. In the next lesson, we will build on this foundation by exploring the consumption-based model and cloud pricing basics in Azure, which will help you understand how these benefits connect directly to costs and pricing models. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.